Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. I got some news for you guys here today. News that's not going to be reported anywhere, I don't think, except for here, I guess. But you'll definitely notice it here in the near future at a discounter near you. And that news is Lattafa is going to be discontinuing a ton of their fragrances. So this first started catching my attention today. I followed up on it and then found out, oh yeah, that's completely real. They are all going bye-bye. And I'm pretty sure, when you start to think about it and you start looking at some of the other clone releases out there, that this may end up having some far-spreading consequences, some wide reach across the entirety of clone fragrances in general. Of course, it may not reach out and touch a whole bunch of other releases out there, but when I start talking about it and break down what's going on, it'll make sense to you. I'll have the fragrances linked below, or at least the majority of them that are being discontinued, so feel free to check those out down there. And completely unrelated, but if you want some discount codes, pause your video now. TwistedLily.com, MaxAroma.com, So Avant-Garde, save yourself some money. Okay, so what is Lattafa discontinuing exactly, and why are they discontinuing these fragrances? Because a lot of these are actually extremely popular. So the reason they're being discontinued is not because they're not selling. Well, one of the fragrances they're discontinuing is this one. Oh, no, not that one. This one, Bright Peach. Now, technically, it says Maison Alhambra, but Maison Alhambra is basically just Lattafa. This is one of their sub-brands, so it's the same people behind each one. Bright Peach being discontinued. This is a clone of Bitter Peach, and it's a really, really good clone of Bitter Peach. It is what it says, a little bit brighter than Bitter Peach, a little bit fresher off the top, but it's still a great alternative to that one. What else is being discontinued? Toscano Leather is being discontinued. This is a clone of Tom Ford's Tuscan Leather, and once again, an extremely good clone. What else is being discontinued? Well, this one, Woody Oud, is being discontinued. This is a clone of Oud Wood, and again, a very good one. Porto Neroli is being discontinued, which, stick with me here, I know it's difficult to wrap your head around this, but this is a clone of Neroli Portofino. Porto Neroli Portofino. Oh, it makes sense now, yeah. So you see something in common here, right? You see a similarity here. Yeah, those Lattafa / Maison Alhambra clones of Tom Ford private blend fragrances, they are all across the board being discontinued sooner rather than later. So that means all of these are not going to be in stock much longer. And basically, once the stock on these runs dry, they are not being made again. Now, I have 100% confirmed that all of the Tom Ford private blend clones are going away. The plan is that they're going to be relaunched. I don't know when, I don't know what the new name is going to be. I know they're going to be in different bottles, so they won't be in this style anymore. I also don't know if they're going to have to change the formulation on these, and they'll be slightly different possibly when they are relaunched under a different name with new bottles. So essentially what that means is that if you want any of these, then you better get them now because they are going away. That's confirmed. And there is a little bit of legal trouble that is causing this to happen. So it doesn't take a genius to kind of figure out what's going on there and why, because this is the real deal. This is the clone. Yeah. And the boxes look pretty similar as well in terms of the style. Obviously, the Maison Alhambra boxes are a bit bigger, but it's really obvious what they're doing with this line of fragrances. They're basically just taking the most popular releases from the Tom Ford private blend line, slightly changing the name up and putting it into a very similar box and bottle, and they're catching on in popularity and they're selling really well. That's gonna get attention. So all of those gone. I do not know how much longer they'll be in stock for at discounters. I do not know how long discounters might be able to still buy bottles that have already been made, but they're not going to be making new ones. And frankly, That's not great for people who enjoy clone fragrances because these are really good ones at great prices compared to what the Tom Fords go for, because those are pricey. They're pricey. Now, as I said, they are going to be relaunching these. Have no clue how long that will be. Could be months and months. Could be pretty rapid, I suppose. Just depends on what they do and what they're allowed to do, I guess. And I don't know if they're going to change up the formulation. So it could technically be worse. Technically also could be better, but a lot of times that's not the case. And what this leads me to believe is that Amber and Leather is also going to be discontinued. This is an ombre leather clone. Now the presentation does not look as nice on Amber and Leather as compared to the private blend ones, but this is also Maison Alhambra. This is also a Tom Ford clone, and it also closely emulates the presentation of the Tom Ford. So Amber and Leather, I would think, is also going to go away. And I think this could have more issues for Lattafa down the road if other brands start to push on it. This is Initio Oud for greatness. This is Lattafa Oud for glory. You're seeing it, right? Seeing it? This is by Killian Angel Share. This is Lattafa Camera. You're seeing it again, right? Well, this one's a cube and this one is cylindrical, but yeah. Now, I have not heard a peep about anything happening to Camera, anything happening to Oud for glory, anything happening to anything other than these Tom Ford clones. But this is one of those deals where you see something happen where a brand is basically told, hey, you're in trouble. And you have the repercussions here coming down. And then you start to look at some of the other things out there and you go, oof. If this is a problem, then this over here could be a problem also. So you end up with things like this, Tabac and Tabacular over here from Dior. And this is, again, Maison Alhambra with this one. And you start to think to yourself, I wonder if some of these other ones are going to have something similar happen to where they're told, hey, you can't do that. And then they have to pull them. They have to do a whole relaunch, a new fragrance, new name, potentially new formulation, all this stuff. And yeah, it maybe doesn't bode well. And it's one of those things that I think could cause a shift with fragrance clones from any company, not just Lattafa or Maison Alhambra, where when they come out with clones, they're gonna have just a completely new packaging, something maybe gaudy, tacky like they have been doing, where it looks absolutely nothing like the fragrance that they are cloning. Now, the majority of clones do not look anything like the fragrance that they're cloning, and this is maybe a good reason why. So fragrances like Ficara Black over here, which is a clone of Eau de Parfum, I think are pretty safe. It doesn't look very similar, does it? But maybe some of these other ones that do have a striking similarity, not sure. Now, as of right now, the only shoe that has fallen is this Tom Ford Private Blend clone line. That's 100% done. The nail is in the coffin. So essentially, any of these that you've been wanting to get or any of these that you love, buy them now. They're gonna be gone. And again, I'm pretty sure that would carry over to Amber and Leather as well. Who knows when the relaunch comes? Maybe it's gonna be super successful. No clue how it's gonna look. We'll have to wait and see on that. And again, just to drive it home, there has been nothing that I have heard yet about any of the others getting canned. So Camera, as of right now, safe. Oud for Glory, as of right now, safe. Is this one of those things where it's like safe for now? Don't know. But I do think, as I said, that this is going to push forward the idea from clone brands that we probably don't want to put this out in a bottle that is reminiscent to the fragrance that we are emulating. Right? Maybe these just pushed it one step too far. And to an extent, for me, I think that's kind of a bummer. I think I'm one of the few people that does not mind when a clone house gets kind of close to the presentation that it's emulating, because they're just laying it out there at that point. Like, yeah, this is what we're doing. No shame in our game. This is what it is. And when they do it pretty well, like frankly, these Maison Alhambra Tom Ford clones, they're done pretty well in terms of presentation and smell. When they do it well, I don't mind. I like that. I'd rather have something that looks like a classy Tom Ford bottle than some of the abomination clone bottles that are out there that are just absolutely eye melting. Just they sear your retinas with how bad they look. look. I'll take something like these Maison Alhambras. That's not too bad. So yeah, guys, that is what it is. Like I said, verified it. Those Maison Alhambra Tom Fords, they're gone. I mean, they're still available at stores until they sell out and then stock runs dry, but new ones aren't being made. The other fragrances are safe right now, but this might be setting a precedent that things are going to get shaken up a little bit. But yeah, that's it. I am out of here. Stay safe out there. I will see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.